Up in Heptonstall Churchyard, above the valley, there's a grave where people leave coins. Not flowers. Coins. Small and spread across the stone. The man buried there, he used to make them. His name was David Hartley, and he died in 1770, hanged at York, and brought back into the hills and buried. And now, more than 2 centuries on, people still come, still reach into a pocket and still leave something behind. This isn't a ghost story. Nothing walks here, nothing calls, but something didn't settle. Back then the valley was working, the mills turning, looms knocking, hands split at the knuckles. The ground that held the cold weather stayed too long, money thin. And under that pressure, something began to take shape. Hartley took a coin, gold, proper weight to it, and he turned it in his fingers. Then he worked the edge, not enough to notice, and not enough to stop it passing. Just enough. Then spent it. Across a counter, into a hand, and back into the day. Still moving, still trusted. And from what came off it, he made another. Not quite true, not quite false. Close enough to live where real money lived. And it didn't stay small. It moved. Through houses, through back rooms, through people who kept their heads down. Because it worked. It was a system. Quiet, careful, and shared. And at the centre of it, Hartley. Now, this is where it never quite settles, because depending on who you ask, he was either a criminal or something harder to name. Some say he kept the money in the valley. The food stayed on the tables, that people got through winters that they shouldn't have got through, that what he did helped. Others say it held people in place, that once a coin passed through your hands, you were already part of it, and walking away wasn't simple. And somewhere between those two things, the truth sits. Uncomfortable, not agreed on, still argued if spoken about at all. In 1770 it ended. Arrests, names taken, a line drawn by the people who'd let it run too long. Hartley was hanged in York, then brought back, up into the hills, back into the ground that held all of it, buried here, among the stones. And that should have been enough. A life finished, a name left to weather. But it isn't. Because now, people come. Not together, not announced, just one at a time. They find the grave and stand there, long enough to decide something. Then they reach into a pocket and leave a coin. And if you go up there, you'll see them. Pennies, 2p pieces, and the odd pound coin. Set down, left where they land. Some darkened and some bright. And some worn to the point that they've almost gone back to the colour of the stone. No one agrees why. It isn't old enough to be called tradition. It's something that formed through telling and through retelling, through people standing there and feeling that something should be done. Some leave it to mark the visit, a small proof that they made it up the hill. Some out of respect for a man who bent the system and held it there for a long time. And some, well, they don't quite know what they're doing. Whether they're paying him or just acknowledging that he's still here in some other way. Because people don't leave money on a grave without thinking about it first. A man that made false money now has real money left behind. A valley that once lived inside that trade still turns it over, still weighs it, and still hasn't put it down. Up here the air carries, the stone holds its place, the names don't move. But every so often, someone walks up with a coin in their hand and no clear reason that they say out loud, and they leave it there. Not as payment, not as proof, just so the question doesn't leave with them. And up in the valley, some stories don't ask to be believed, only picked up, turned over, and set back down again. It's Giles, signing off.